What's up, y'all? It's been a couple of days, but college football imperialism is back. This is what the map is looking like. We have 58 teams remaining. We're going to get straight into it. Took a couple days off. School's getting kind of stressful. We're all good now. Hoping to record the whole series, the whole rest of it this weekend, and post it every other day till the end. First team is South Florida. They are down here. They can only play two teams now. Miami eliminated FAU and UCF in the last episode, but now USF can only play Miami and Florida. Which one will it be? They're trying to get out of this by trying to play the Gulf Coast, but Florida Gulf Coast University is not. They're not a D1 college football program. So instead, they are going to go northeast and play Miami. So we will have USF at Miami in our first game. The Bulls come in at a 79 overall, and the Hurricanes are a 90 overall. So a bit of a difference here, you could say. As I'm recording this, I'm also sort of half watching the A&M Alabama basketball game, and my Aggies are just getting whooped. So that's not good. But it's baseball season. Baseball season's here.
And now we bring you the coin toss, and it's presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
Let's turn that down. Here we go. Nothing much so far. Miami scores a touchdown. End of the first quarter, scores 7-0. Miami with another touchdown, 14-0. Miami a third touchdown, 21-0. That is your halftime score. 21-7, now 21-14 after two South Florida touchdowns. Score holds for a while. Now South Florida ties at 21 all. 2 minutes left. Miami touchdown. South Florida touchdown. 16 overtime. We are in overtime. 35 all. 42 all. 45 Miami. Miami wins in triple overtime. 45-42. South Florida played a great game. Didn't start well, but they made a 21-point comeback and kept it close or tied the whole rest of the game. But Miami does escape with a 3-point lead, 3-point victory over South Florida. It was looking like a big blowout. But South Florida came back, went to the locker room, decided that they were going to make this a fight. And they did fight. They did just that. But weren't able to get the victory in the end. So now the only two teams remaining in Florida are the Gators and the Hurricanes. This is kind of the exact opposite of what happened in my first full college football imperialism series, because if you haven't watched that, go ahead, might as well. But Miami won because they only played one game the entire series, and they just happened to upset Ohio State in the last game. But now Miami's played a couple of games, and they could play a couple more now. I don't know where I was really going with that. South Florida gets taken off the wheel. Washington State, it looks like Wazoo will play their first game. That is awesome. So we could either get the Apple Cup here, or Wazoo Oregon, or Wazoo Boise. Wazoo doesn't really want to play right now. They were just chilling up here. They're gonna have to play somebody though. So they do elect to play the Apple Cup. Gonna head just a little bit farther west. And we will see Wazoo at UW. There they are. The Cougars come in at an 84 overall, and the Huskies are, I'm going to guess, a 93. No, they're a 91. They have a 93 overall offense. So, 91 UW, 84 Wazoo. In the Apple Cup, it was a really close game in real life this past year. Washington won by, I think it was just 3 points on a walk-off field goal. Rome Oduzze, Braylon Trice, Jalen McMillan leading for Washington's top overall players. Honestly, I don't know any of these guys for Washington State. I don't watch a lot of Washington State football.
Yes, this is the Apple Cup. It's the annual battle of college football supremacy for the Evergreen State.
Oh, I did not mean to. Okay, I'm not going to touch the controller. It's going to do whatever the AI wants. I'm not touching it. Oh, great. There's a flag. We're going to accept that. But I'm just going to simulate the game as planned. Washington State scores a field goal on their first drive. Washington with a touchdown. Washington with a field goal to take a 7-point lead. With a touchdown of their own, Washington takes a 14-point lead. And another UW touchdown. Another one. Now a Washington State touchdown, 31-10. And that will actually hold. That'll be the final score. Washington wins by 21 points over the Cougars. Okay. Washington State eliminated from the wheel, and we will remove them from the map as well. So the northwest is kind of sorted out. We have a couple big teams there in the northwest. We still got a lot of action all over the map though. 56 teams remain. It'll be maybe Arizona State. They might want to play again. It will be. So the Sun Devils, the largest team in the Southwest, are looking to bully another team. This one could be UTEP, but I don't think so. I mean, do we want Arizona State to play UTEP? It doesn't really matter what I want, but I don't think that arrow hits UTEP. So I'm gonna respin. Okay, they are definitely gonna play someone now. The arrow points northeast. I think that's gonna be geez. I'm going from like here. That's Colorado State. Arizona State at Colorado State. That'll be the game. Colorado State pulls off the upset here. They will now have the most territory in the Southwest. The Sun Devils are an 83 overall, and the Rams are a 75 overall, but they will have that home field advantage, I guess. Aggie basketball team cuts it to a 16-point lead. Feel pretty good. Here we go. We've seen Arizona State play a lot. This is Colorado State's first game. Oh, wow. Arizona State quickly goes down. They score a touchdown. They do it again and a third time. 21-0 lead for Arizona State. Now Colorado State with a touchdown. Arizona State with a touchdown, missed extra point. 20-point lead for the Sun Devils. It's Colorado State touchdown and a field goal. Now a 10-point lead for Arizona State. Now a 3-point lead after some Colorado State scores. A 3-point lead again after scores by both teams. Now Colorado State takes the lead. And Colorado State pulls a 4-point upset over the Arizona State Sun Devils. Although it says 2 seconds are left on the clock. What? That can't be right. 2 seconds left? There's a penalty was the last play. Well, the final score says 38-34. So I guess Colorado State, they pull off the upset. I will be right back. Give me like 4.5 seconds. My dog was in my room. Had to let her out. Yeah, Colorado State, just a superpower now. 75 overall team. Good for the Rams. Good for them. Now Colorado State has all of Colorado, all of New Mexico, all of Arizona, part of Southern California, half of Nevada, and the vast majority of Utah. Thanks to one game, which is why this would never work in real life, because it's kind of dumb. Honestly, it's kind of dumb. One team could win every single game, and where they amass half the territory, but they lose by 1 point to some other school, and that other school now gets credit, sort of, for everything the previous team did. Anyway, it's just fun. It's just a game. SMU will play next. I shouldn't be telling you why this is stupid, because I'm making the content. SMU, where are they gonna go? They're gonna play A&M, it looks like. Yeah. SMU at A&M. Okay, interesting. See some Texas matchups here. Not feeling too good for my Aggies. 76 overall A&M, 80 not 70, 86 overall A&M, 83 overall SMU. We got this though. We got this. Stu, Ed Coop, and Bryce Foster. Bryce Foster should not be that high overall. He's awful. Evan Stewart transferred out. SMU's got some okay players. I'm shocked that A&M doesn't have a 90 overall. Ed Coop's like a 94, probably. Well, maybe a 92 after this past season.
In College Station, Texas, and we're getting ready to bring you a good one.
This feels like the type of game that college football revamped would make A&M lose. There's the SMU field goal and SMU touchdown. Aggie touchdown. 10-7 lead, now 17-7 lead SMU. Halftime, 17-7. Now 17-14. SMU with a 3-point lead. A bunch of nothing. Now an SMU field goal, and that's it. As expected, SMU takes down A&M. Great. At least I can't be accused of rigging this. Always happens in this game. Anytime A&M plays SMU or another small school from Texas, they always lose. It was a really close game. I remember correctly, the North Texas game that I've simulated. Anyway, SMU with the top corner of the state now. A&M is eliminated from the wheel. Let me make sure. We had Washington State. They should be off the wheel. Yeah, they are. Okay. Um, Arizona State, A&M, and South Florida. Miami is the next team selected. We've seen Miami play. They can only play one team. Only one. It's Florida. So that will be the game we get. Spin this arrow once more. Oh, look. Miami's going to play Florida. Shocker. Oh my gosh. Hayden Hefner's awful at basketball. He's awful. Miami on the road, Florida at home. Gators are an 84 overall, and the Hurricanes are 90 overall. This is the battle for the Seminole War Canoe. Strange, because the other team in this three-way rivalry is FSU, who are the Seminoles. But they are not featured in this game. This rivalry game called Seminole Canoe War.
A lot of these guys played with and against each other in high school. However, they'll go to war today in the battle for the Seminole War Canoe.
Here we go. This will be a game played in real life next year. Should be a good one. I'll probably watch it. 14 all right now. 21-14 Florida lead. Score holds for a little while, but a Florida touchdown makes it a 14-point lead. Miami with a touchdown missed extra point. 8-point lead for the Gators. Third quarter, now fourth quarter, still an 8-point lead for Florida. They add to their lead. 7-point lead for Florida. Touchdowns by both teams. And Florida escapes with a 35-28-point victory over the Miami Hurricanes. In a interesting game, Miami just dominated South Florida, South and Central Florida. But now Florida reaps the benefits by surviving, I guess. Surviving to see another wheel spin. Gators, I'll move their logo just a little bit farther south. That's probably fine. So now the only team that Florida can play is Georgia Tech. Be a little surprised if we saw that game. Just because the odds aren't high. We might actually get that game right here. No, it's Georgia State. Okay. Georgia State, they're going to play their first game of the series. They could play most likely Georgia Tech. But also maybe Georgia or maybe Clemson. No, 1,000,000,000% Georgia Tech. So, State at Tech. Battle for Atlanta. Georgia State is a 75 overall. And Georgia Tech is an 79 overall. A little bit low, I think. Georgia Tech had a pretty good season. But these rosters are from I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks into the season. So they're a little bit dated. But, you take what you can get. And personally, I'm not going to go and make rosters for every team. And yes, this is before this transfer portal, this offseason, and half these players probably don't play for these teams anymore. But I didn't do this during the regular season. Now I'm doing it. 14-7. Now 14-14, 21-14. Georgia State leads. 21-21 all at halftime. Interesting game so far. 24-21 Georgia State. 28-24 Georgia Tech. 31-28 Georgia State. Georgia Tech lead. Georgia State leads. Georgia Tech wins it in a thriller, 43-37. Well, that was kind of crazy. Almost 1,000 yards of offense in this game. That's kind of crazy. Haynes King went off 316 yards. How many picks did he throw though? Strange. Haynes King threw 0 interceptions. Okay, well, we know who won Atlanta. That was pretty cool, actually. Dante Smith. Why is he the player of the game? Oh, he had 3 touchdowns. That's probably why. Darren Granger had a pretty good game as well. But Georgia State will be eliminated, sadly, I guess. It's kind of weird to me that they're sort of a new program relative to other programs. I think they only started like 10 or 15 years ago. 20. It was either the early 2010s. I think it was the early 2010s. Around the same time as UTSA, I think. Anyway, Georgia Tech, they survive to see another day, another wheel spin. Georgia State will be removed. Aggies down by 19 now. 3 to go. We'll see how this plays out. Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky. They've done a lot. They've played pretty well. Pretty much have all of the state of Indiana. But now they desire to head farther south, and they will play Vanderbilt. Interesting strategy. I wouldn't be too upset playing Vanderbilt either. WKU at Vandy. I really wouldn't want to play at Vandy. They don't really have like a complete stadium yet. Nah, they probably do. I don't really know. During the season, it was awful. The Commodores at a 79 overall, and the Hilltoppers at a 79 overall. Interesting. Here we go.
And now the coin toss, and it's presented by Nissan.
For an SEC stadium, Vandy's is awful. Alright. Nothing much happening so far. After one quarter, nothing. 7-0 lead for Western Kentucky. Almost to halftime. Western Kentucky with a 10-point lead at half. Now 17-0 lead. Now a 24-0 lead. Vandy is... They're done. They're done pretty much. 3 minutes left. Western is up 38-0. And that will be the final score. Western Kentucky holds Vanderbilt scoreless, and they win 38-0. That is shocking, actually. I am a little bit surprised. I figured Vandy would try to make it a competitive game, but they were unsuccessful. And the Hilltoppers move farther south in their pretty much north to south only territory. Strangely. Move their logo a little bit farther south to reflect that relatively large territory gain. WKU stays on the wheel. Vandy is eliminated. Sorry, Vandy. The next team that will play is MTSU maybe, or Mizzou. It'll be Middle Tennessee State though. Middle Tennessee State, they can play a bunch of pretty good teams, I'd say. Georgia Tech, Tennessee, or Western Kentucky. They're gonna opt to play the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in, I don't know, what could potentially be an interesting game. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. GT at home and MTSU on the road. MTSU is a 72 overall, Georgia Tech an 78, 79 overall. Struggling to talk. Georgia Tech's offense and defense are just much better. They play in a more competitive league. Um,
Bobby Dodd Stadium opened way back in 1913.
I wouldn't actually mind
Atlanta ever since.
doing a Georgia Tech dynasty. Georgia Tech, some of the things I take into consideration when I do a dynasty, I play a lot of them off camera. I've only done one or two on camera. Look for the stadium. You gotta have a cool stadium. Gotta have a couple uniforms. Um, you gotta be like just mediocre. Georgia Tech fits those requirements pretty well, I think, at least in this game. They also have a 24-6 lead in the fourth quarter. 24-14, 31-14, 10-point win for the Yellow Jackets as they survive the wrath of the MTSU Blue Raiders. Kind of a cool blue color I found for MTSU. But it will be replaced by, honestly, kind of an ugly gold-ish. Like a very dull gold. Interesting. MTSU off the wheel. 50 teams remain. 50 teams remain. The next team that will play will be Tulsa, I think. Yeah, Tulsa. They're going to play their first game. They could play a couple different teams. All Power 5, though. They're going to go directly south and face Oklahoma, though. Interesting decision by Tulsa. Oh, look at that. Alabama hit 100 points. A 25-point win for the Crimson Tide in basketball. Thank God for baseball season. Tulsa and OU. That's the matchup we're going to have right here. OU a 90 overall, Tulsa a 75 overall.
This coin toss presented by
This stadium, for some reason, is super glitchy. Anytime I play a game in the stadium, like the end zone completely glitches out. And sometimes my game crashes, so we'll see if we survive this one. No score for a while. Finally an OU score. But Tulsa responds. Now Tulsa with a 7-point lead. Tulsa with a 14-point lead at halftime, 21-7. Oklahoma fighting back, a score of their own. 21-14 Tulsa, 21 all. 1 minute, 1 minute and a half minutes, 27-21. In Tulsa pulls off the upset over Oklahoma. A 15 overall disadvantage for the Golden Hurricanes. And they pull the upset over OU. 2 Oklahoma turnovers. And they just kind of got outplayed. Wow. Braylon Braxton for Tulsa played very well. Dang. Okay. Wow. Good job, Tulsa. Tulsa and Okie State, the final two Oklahoma schools remaining. There are only three, though, so I guess one's eliminated. There have to be two left. They're going to split the state. Did not see that coming at all. Tulsa just sort of chilling now. Good for them. Good for Tulsa. Good for Tulsa. And Oklahoma is eliminated. Next team up. Who could it be? Looks like Cal. Cal's gonna play, I think. Yeah. Cal, they've done a little bit up here in the Pacific Northwest-ish region. They could play Oregon, Boise, or Southern Cal. Not the Pacific Ocean. Looks like they're gonna play Oregon. Yeah, they're gonna play Oregon. Interesting. Golden Bears, I'm gonna guess at 79 overall. Oh my gosh, they're an 88. Oh, I remember they were way too high for no reason. Way too high. Just being honest, I don't think there are really any Cal fans. That overall is very high. Someone that created these rosters is definitely a Golden Bear fan. No doubt about it. Here we go in Austin. I think Austin will be one of the smallest stadiums in the Big Ten. It could definitely be looking for a renovation. I have no idea if they're going to do it, though. They might just like their small little Austin stadium. It's usually pretty full, I think. A renovation could be good, though. 21-point lead for Oregon here. 28-7. Now 35-7. 28-point lead. Fourth quarter, 1 minute left. 42-7. That's the final score. Ducks win. Cal is eliminated. Oregon goes just a little bit farther south. Yeah. Good game for them. Blowout win. I'm going to I want to make sure this border is clearly defined here between Oregon and USC. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good for the Ducks. Gonna move their logo just a little bit farther south. That's a big win for them. Sort of, kind of. Every win's a big win when you're facing a win-or-go-home situation. Next team selected. Will it be WKU again? No, it'll be Whiskey. Good old Whiskey. They beat Minnesota in the last episode. Who could they play now? Iowa State, Mizzou, maybe Michigan State. They're definitely going to go play Iowa State. So this is a really big game, actually, in terms of territory. Because Iowa State has North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, half of Kansas, and half of Iowa. And Wisconsin has Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Northwestern. So, kind of crazy, but we'll see. Iowa State gets that home field advantage. We might as well play this one in the snow, right? Get just a little bit of snow going. Wisconsin and the Cyclones. Iowa State is 79 overall. Wisconsin and 86 overall. Defenses are both an 82 overall. We're going to go with some light snow here. Yeah, UW's offense is just a lot better. I know we called Washington UW, but I also think that Wisconsin's UW. They're both UW. Braylon Allen leading the Badgers. I'm not totally sure what the difference between this light snow and medium snow is. It seems pretty similar in this game, at least. Alrighty. Cyclones go down. They score a touchdown on their first drive. Couple possessions later, Wisconsin scores a touchdown and a second, but they miss the extra point. They have a 6-point lead. Now, both teams score touchdowns. Iowa State, a field goal. It is 28-17. Wisconsin leads. 2 minutes left in the fourth. Iowa State with a touchdown. 31-25. Wisconsin wins 31-25 in a pretty interesting game. That is a very big win for Whiskey. Because they're going to take over, like, an eighth of the map on this one win. Very impressive. I'm going to have to center this Wisconsin logo a little bit better now. The game we might all want to see now is Colorado State and Wisconsin. Could be a good one. Just reaching from Canada to Mexico. Indiana's trying to do the same, or not Indiana, Western Kentucky's trying to do the same thing. Go from Canada to Mexico, but a little bit off. Might make it from Canada to the Gulf Coast. I'll redo that. Fixing this border here. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. How many games do we want to play? Let's see. Wisconsin will stay on the map. Iowa State will be eliminated. We got 47 teams left. We started with 59, I think, 58. We'll play one more game. We'll play one more game. Washington or West Virginia? It'll be West Virginia. Okay. They're going to be going on the road. Like there are a bunch of teams West Virginia could play right now. Pitt in the backyard brawl. JMU, UNC, a couple of good ones. They're gonna go south. They want to take on North Carolina. Cannot escape this North Carolina dominance. But West Virginia is gonna try to challenge them. UNC has pretty much dominated the Atlantic coast region, spanning from Coastal Carolina up through Marshall and UVA. But now, the Mountaineers want to take on the Tar Heels. West Virginia is an 83 overall. North Carolina, I think they were a 93, 91. No, an 88. 88. I overestimate North Carolina a little bit. Here we go.
Nothing's finer than football in Carolina. And we're just about set for the kickoff here at Keenan Memorial Stadium.
Alrighty. North Carolina with a 7-0 lead. West Virginia ties it. North Carolina 7-point lead again. Now a 10-point lead for the Tar Heels. Make it a 7-point lead. West Virginia cuts the lead. 17-10 score at half. 24. Now 31-10. North Carolina lead. 38-10. 45-10. 45-17. North Carolina will be the final score. Definitely hoping for an upset in that one. But the Tar Heels remain pretty dominant. And take down another school. One win against JMU, and they could have the entire states of North Carolina. Oh, no. They have to beat App State and ECU to claim North Carolina. So, strangely enough, the only state North Carolina has claimed is West Virginia. It's one way to do it. I guess I can eliminate this border up here. Because now JMU is engulfed in Tar Heel blue. Alright. Pretty good little episode here. I'll try to recap it the best I can. Oregon beat Cal. Colorado State upset Arizona. Wisconsin beat Iowa State. Tulsa beat Oklahoma. SMU beat A&M. Western Kentucky took out Vandy. Georgia Tech beat Middle Tennessee State and Georgia State. Florida beat Miami, who beat South Florida. And North Carolina beat West Virginia. I think that's it. So definitely a pretty good episode there. With that, like, subscribe, comment, share, I don't know, all the things big YouTubers say. Do those, please. On the road to 1,000 subscribers, so close to 800 right now. Subscribing doesn't cost you anything. It just helps me. And until the next one, peace.